welcome back to our Morning Brew playlist. It is not quite morning where I am right now. I do have coffee, but it is about 9 p.m. and I really wanted to come on here and talk about this video. It's something talk about this topic. I'm really passionate about it and I think it will help a lot of people. So this is like the number one thing that took my business from kind of like a side hustle, you know, maybe I can quit my corporate job and make a little money, venture into like a seven-figure revenue business. So I want to share it with you. So if that sounds good, you know, grab a notepad, let's take some notes, grab your coffee, and let's jump in. So right away, I'm just gonna tell you, I want you to start thinking like a CEO. So before I go on, if you find yourself tempted to turn this off or stop watching because you're not a CEO, that's a lie. So if you are an artist and you have 0 employees, but you are your own boss, you're a CEO. If you rent a booth and you pay rental for your room, you are a CEO. If you're an artist and you are in control of the art you create, day in and day out, you're a CEO. So it's really important that you start thinking like one. If you're watching this and you're an aspiring artist, you will become a CEO. So it's important that you start with this early in your career. So that means thinking like a CEO to me means you have to spend less time working in your business and more time working on it. So more time on your business, less time in it. So that doesn't mean stop working on clients. It just means that you have got to start thinking that this business needs your attention to grow and not just before and afters, client management, you know, working on your technique. You have to realize that there are 2 hats that we wear as artists. One's the artist hat, which most of you are probably nailing, and the other one is the CEO hat, which is much, much harder for most of us creatives. So, the way that you're gonna do that is you have to start thinking more about strategy. So the rest of the video, I'm gonna spend time talking to you how you can work on strategy and giving you tips and tricks on how you can make this happen for you. But before we do that, we obviously need to agree on what strategy is. So when I talk about strategy and thinking like a CEO, what I mean is you have got to come up with a plan for your goals. So first you gotta set the goals and then you gotta think of a scheme to get there. So the actual steps, the ideas behind how you're gonna get to where you're going. And already, if you're sitting there thinking that's overwhelming or this is a lot, it is, and it requires separate attention. It's not something that you can do while your clients are numbing. This is something that you really gotta dedicate yourself to. And when I started doing this, it took me from, like I said, just doing people and trying to find people to come in the door to really growing and scaling a business to multiple locations and hiring people. So if that's something that you aspire to do, this is totally necessary. Even if your goal is just to have 5 days worth of clients, 40 hours a week, and be totally booked out and never have to think about finding clients, this is super important. So we know that we have to come up with what our goals are and we got to come up with the way we're going to do it. So right now in your mind, on a piece of paper, on your phone, I need you to write down a goal, a real one, not a small one because it makes you feel better, but a real goal that's kind of hard that you have. For me, my goal, and I want you to think about something you can do in the next 6 to 12 months. For me, my goal was to have multiple locations with a team of artists. I basically wanted to duplicate myself and create professional, talented artists that could take clients anywhere. Something that I could scale and pick up and put in other cities and franchise if I wanted to. So that has always been my goal really for the last 2 years. So that's a very specific goal. I want you to make yours pretty specific like that too, so that when you sit down and you do these next steps, you'll be able to execute on something and something that you have in sight. For frame of context for me, I got to the point very fast in my business using strategy, being totally booked out for like 6 months, working full-time hours. And again, that will happen for you if you deploy strategy. But that was not my end goal. I realized that that's a lot of work and I like working on clients, but I also want to reach my goal of having multiple locations, and I couldn't do that if I only sat behind the chair 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So what I did and what I want you to do is I spent an hour a week at least working on strategy. Even if it meant taking one less client, it still way outweighed that money for me to spend that time thinking about how I could grow the business, how I could make it better for my clients, how I could find the best location, the best tips, the techniques, just how to get better. So right away, I need you to think about an hour. When can you carve out an hour a week? One consecutive hour just to dedicate to thinking about the strategy that we're talking about here. So you can see already, if you're sitting there thinking like, this is like a lot of information, it's a very abstract theory. It needs your full attention. So you cannot do your strategy while your clients are numbing. You need to have a separate hour. For me, that's Sunday mornings, because I'm not going to take clients on Sunday. That's usually a day that I have less chaos. So for me, it's an hour. And so first thing, find that hour. I want you to treat it like it's a client. So you're not going to be late for it. You're not going to cancel. You're always going to show up. It's very important, just as or more important than your clients are, because this is how you're going to get them, keep them, and grow. So that is super important. The next thing that you have to do is you need to turn off all distractions. So that means you got to hide from your kids. That means you're all busy. You have a dog, you got to cook, you have clients, a husband, a wife, you got stuff where people need you, but this is your hour. So if that means you go to a coffee shop and put some headphones on, if that means you have to throw your phone out of sight, for me, it's not even enough to turn my phone off. I have to like lock it in a box. So I can't even look at it or I'm distracted. I'm thinking about who might be calling me. So you need to turn the world off. And then I need you to sit down and set some major goals and start thinking about hacks. How can you get there? What creative ways can you come up with to get there? Brainstorm. Big piece of paper, just write everything down. Get a journal and keep it, right? The next thing that you can do during this hour every week, and what I did is I would spend time reading books. I love to study people who have what I want. So people who have reached a certain level of success or who seem to be good at something I'm trying to get good at, I want to study them. So I'll use the hour for that. You can use the hour to read books. So find business books at the library. You don't even have to purchase these. Use a Kindle, some kind of ebook, and find ways to study getting better. Watch YouTube videos, one of my favorite things. That's why we're all here right now, right? So watch YouTube videos on how to grow. You're doing it right now. So spend an hour going through our morning brew playlist and really look at these. It's all dedicated to strategy. So if you don't even know where to begin, watching the other morning brew videos will really help you. We have classes, so you can take any class. Your community college probably has a class you can enroll in if you need help with marketing or photography. We have tons of online classes that you can do from right where you are that are super affordable and self-paced. So if you need help creating video, captivating video, if you need help getting reviews so that you can get more clients, if you need to, find a way to get found online, we have a class for all of that. So I'll link that in the description box. But these are all things that you can use your hour of strategy for. But right now, all that matters is that before you end this video, you have an hour set up, you have a goal written down, and then you're going to commit to that hour. And I would love if you would come back here and tell us how you did it, how it went. If you have questions or concerns or just, kind of confused on how to do this, I would love to help you. So please leave them in the comments. And then take advantage of the rest of these videos and let me know if I can offer any more help. I'm so excited for you because the moment that you flip the switch as an artist and start thinking like a CEO is truly the moment that your business will explode. And I'm just happy to be a part of the journey with you. So if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next morning brew.